It's always hard to do these lists, but they're fun to talk about. It's fun to converse with people online about it with all the opinions and stuff. And some of them are pretty strong.
We're mostly talking in the rock metal world.
Yes, this is our top 25 drummers in rock and metal. A lot of rock and metal drummers are influenced by jazz and blues and swing and all.
He could just listen through a song once and he'd have a notepad. And he said, let me hear it again. And they'd run through it or a demo and he'd take some notes and he'd be ready to cut it. And he would get it in a first take or second take if he needed it. Like just to have another one. Somehow through his drumming alone, it was turn an okay song into like the single or like a hit. You know, from drumming, not like adding a chord change or a vocal part or something, but the drum player himself, how he would play it would elevate the song to where, wow, that's the single now, which wasn't even in the running before. He made the song a better song. And I don't know how he did it, but people would be worried, God, he's awfully expensive. And I'd push him. I'd go, trust me, trust me. He goes, oh, here, let me show you something. And he gets behind it and just starts playing this speed metal beat type thing that I was like overdoing something else, miking something or like I don't know what I was doing. And I turned around like, who's playing drum?
Have you ever worked with a drummer who didn't look like much on paper per se, but behind the kit blew everyone away? Somebody kind of had a preconceived notion about it that just came in and lit the workroom on fire. Can you think of somebody like that?
I just had an experience with this band I did from Texas called Identity Crisis. And we were doing pre-production via Zoom for a few weeks. And I was a little worried. You know, I'm like, hope these guys are ready when they get here. And the drummer just killed it. And I did not expect it. And he just killed it. And I was like, wow. Sometimes people show up with their game face, you know, and freaking pull it out. I was really impressed. If you listen to a Mother Love Bone album, it sounds like his snare is gonna be late. It sounds like the click is gonna come down and his arms all the way up here, but somehow it's in time. Like he just is almost behind, but it gives it this swagger and this feel. I'm a big fan of the feel and groove stuff, really deep, heavy grooves. That's what I go for. If they really understand tuning and having their kit tuned, or if they're really, once again, the guy I just worked with that I spoke about from Kaz, from Identity Crisis, he was fanatic about tuning drums and he would tune to each track, to the key of each song and all that stuff. But a well-tuned kit is just going to sound better in a good room. It just sounds great. It just does. It makes the resonance and everything sound right. Smaller kick drums usually record better and bigger.
Yeah.
I've went down to really small, like jazz drum sizes.
18-inch.
Yeah, those little guys.
Yeah.
And I have way better results getting a bigger Bonham sound. Which leads us to that story I think I might have told you before with Dave from Pearl Jam.
Easy. Pearl Jam fans, chime in.
I can never say his name right. I recorded him once. And I think I told you this story. I remember going to mic up the kit and seeing that there was no port. There was no hole in the head of the kick drum to put the mic in. So I just went out to Rick, you know, and said, hey, there's no hole in the kick drum. What do you want me to do? Nonchalant said, you know, no, just cut a hole, put a hole in it. And we kept a coffee can around that we would trace. So obviously now I'm very cautious to ask a drummer if I can cut their head before that, but I was taking orders from my producers. So
as humans, are we entering an era of too much grid perfect drumming?
It needs to be cut up all over the place with the grid. Then why are we even doing this? Is how I look at it. If I'm the producer, then generally I don't do any more editing on drums than I would have done on tape.
A lot of metal records now sound the exact same,
and they're cool.
They're cool, you know, but
it is absolutely drum performance that's been put to the grid with samples.
We have to. Jimi Hendrix, rest in peace. What an alien that man was. Jeez. 27 years old. I just have to say it. 27 years old, and that body of work that he produced in just a few short years is insane. Yeah, man, I remind people.
Seeing that firsthand, and it was like, holy shit. And then Kerry King was standing like with his arms folded, right up to the stage. Nobody else, and the sound guy, it was it, no crowd yet. nobody's in those sound check. And I was like, that's the dude from Slayer. And I was all freaking out.
Just beat the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was in some resemblance of Phil Rudd.
He just had the right beat. And then it just set everything else up and made everything else sound bigger and better.
Yeah. Just made the other guy just driving that band, just made the whole band play harder. Yeah. It was fucking awesome.
If you ever track down the Northwest Metal Fest, which my band was on as well, but their live performance on that was just like freaking just, they had a song called Battalion, and you were just like, what? You ever see the documentary on him? Oh my God, you got to see it.
Hot for Teacher alone.
Hot for Teacher alone. Oh,
I mean, what an intro to a song, you know?
it's Van Halen, dude. Everybody knows who he is. And Fair Warning record too. That record's so underrated. And Women and Children First too.
Yeah, man. Alex Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, man. Jeez. It's hard to play simple sometimes, you know?
Playing at Berkeley's Inn, and our shows, there'd be Cliff and Kurt in the audience, and we'd be hanging with them and Pusshead. But you can't deny the first record, Kill 'Em All. And I totally was into Metallica. Lars, you just got, come on. It was a whole new era of set the world on fire in metal. And now they're like the biggest band household name that grandmothers know.
Yeah.
And when you're in the studio, it's a whole new world. But hey, man, he pulled that off live all those years.
Yeah. Okay, Lars Ulrich, man, we're standing by your side with the body of work alone, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, what are you going to do?
I saw him a few years ago and he was like in his early 50s and just one of the most powerhouse, intense guys I've seen ever. Hardest hitter.
What a weird thing that he's in the Circle Jerks too. It's so great.
All the big hits. And when Jimmy Page comes a calling to stand in place of John Bonham, that right there, you have to tip your hat to that man. So all good music, great music. Go get all the albums, not just the first one. Go get all their solo stuff. They're an independent band now, guys. Follow them and support that band. Fucking awesome. And he's like 75 years old and still plays like a monster.
I don't even know what to say. Personality, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. Legend, you know. You don't even have to talk much about him. Everybody knows.
People, go check out The Who if you're not hip to The Who. Not just the hits. Go get the deep tracks. His last 15 years or so were really rough for him. So I got to see him many times over the years with Pantera, the original lineup. And it was every single show, every single one of those guys threw 100% into those shows. And they were just a legendary band, and very impactful and influential in the heavy metal world in the 90s specifically. Listen to Wood on headphones, on cans, isolating cans, and listen to his footwork on Wood in the verses. And that's all I played. I mean, dude.
I have such a personal memory and story for that because I remember when they came in to do Wood, it was just like a one-off. This purple sparkle DW kit, and it's brand new, and their tech was setting it up, and I just remember miking it up, and admiring that drum kit.
That's impressive, man. He's his mind somewhere else. It's like, I got this locked down. Was he a guy that would just not do many takes at all? He would just go, just bang it out one or two.
Well,
no excuses. I don't know 100%, but I could probably guess that whole song was written around that drum part. That whole intro part, man. How do you come up with parts like that? It's so creative, you know what I mean? It makes you mad. It's like, why didn't I write that? It's because I'm not that good.
And you know, his drumming style for that 80s hardcore punk rock, come on.
Sure.
You know, just and the racial barrier, being a black guy playing in a white punk rock band, that was awesome. But I saw him in Club Lingerie, or the old Club Lingerie in Hollywood, playing with TSOL, punk rock band TSOL. I don't know if you know them, very famous punk rock.
Podcasting is awesome, but I want to get back to playing music.